All right, good morning, one and all. My name is Somil Shah. Welcome to the tutorial learning C++. In this tutorial, we would be learning object-oriented approach. So we will be learning about classes, methods, attributes, how to make them, how to access them, and stuff like that. So stay connected with me. It will be a complete tutorial. You will learn a lot. I promise you. So without not wasting much of time, let's get started. We'll learn about the constructors, how to initialize the constructors and stuff like that. So let's get started without wasting much of time. So before starting this video, I want to tell you something. The best way to learn anything is to actually do it. If you're simply watching the video and you assume that you know everything, it's not gonna work out, guys. So I highly recommend everyone who wants to learn programming, please actually do it. This is my personal experience. I'm not from a programming background, but I learned programming. So that's my advice. Let's get started. With the classes, that is object oriented. So this is what we are going to learn. By the way, the code is also there on my GitHub account, so make sure to check that out if you have any questions. All right, so guys, we want to declare a class. So guys, how do we declare a class in C++? It is very easy. You can say class variable. You say class, CLASS. You can say car. So I'm gonna create an object of car which has the name and basically the year in which this car was built, right? So I can say something like this, hit enter. So that's a basic class. Now class has some methods, has some attributes. What are methods? Methods are nothing but functions. What are in order to execute that function, you need certain variable, right? Like, the car has name, model, and stuff like that, right? So we will declare that. So remember, C++ also has something known as private and public. What is private? That means you cannot access those variable. Only you can access it inside that class. Okay, from outside you cannot access it. Only way to access is using getters and setters, which I'll show you. Public, you can access it from inside, outside, everywhere, right? So hopefully that is clear. So let's define a very simple class with I'm gonna say private. Define a string known as name. So my car has a name, right? Then I'm gonna say int year. That means it's gonna say in which year you bought it, or something like that. Now a very cool thing that IntelliJ provides is using. I mean, you don't have to write constructor; it automatically does that for you. So see the magic, guys. You go up, go to code, go to generate, go to getter and setters, right? Select these two. I'm gonna press OK, and bang! Here you see IntelliJ wrote the code automatically for you. So I'm going to remove that. Yep, that's fine for now. So that's the basic getter and setters through which you can access these variables. Now let us create a very simple object first of all. So I can say to create an object, I can say car. I can name that object. So I'm going to just say obj because I want to teach you how to access these methods and attributes. So I want to set the name. So I can say obj. Remember, there are two methods to do this. I can say dot set name, and I can say BMW colon. That's valid as well. Now you can also do like this way. So get name, right? So we will display that. All right, so let's try to run it and see. So these are the ways you can access using dot operator or using the arrow key. My computer is a little bit slow, so might take a little while. So you have to be a little patient because I'm recording the video. So so here you can see BMW. We have this right here, but I can also say like this. Even this works fine. These are the way in which you can access the methods. Let me show you. All right, so a small mistake. I'm sorry, a syntax issue. Let me fix it. So you can access the objects. So here you can see using this dash operator also you can access the object. So that's just a tip. Now let us define the constructors and stuff, right? So let's do that. So I want to define a constructor. Remember guys, we are not going to write the code. We want the compiler to generate our code. So simple code. So you have to really like be smart and not, like write everything. Let me just run that so that I can clear the screen. All right, so I can go to code, I can go to generate. I'm gonna generate a constructor, and that's what the constructor should be. Now if you observe, I'm gonna just take this, paste it on the top section. Now here you can see there is a constructor here which C++ provided, right? So I want to remove the ampersand for now because it makes things complicated for beginners. And we can do is we can initialize it as a variable. If nothing is provided, this will be our default constructor or no args constructor, and here as 1 2 3 4. Yep, that's fine. Now we need to define our constructor. So here you can see C++ already did that. I'm just gonna add statement here. Remove the const. For now I don't need it for this tutorial. So all right, so that's the constructor, right? Let me see what's the, oh yep, let me remove the ampersand. Should be fine now, hopefully. Yep. So that's our constructor, and remove the const, I don't need that. This is what the compiler generated again, once again. So what I will do is basically, instead of implementing the constructor outside, I want to implement it in the inside the function only. So you can do that as well. So let me quickly show you that. All right, just wanna, all right, so hopefully I have it right here. So here you can see string name, I have initialized as test, and here as 1 2 3 4. This is nothing but our default constructor. So I wrote the constructor here, which is outside the function. If you observe, so I have this constructor right here. You can see string name int here, name equals to name, year equals to year. So this year corresponds to year over here, and this year is the year that you pass in. So this is our default constructor. All right. Now if we want to create an object, I just showed you how to create an object, right? Now if you want to access the object, so let's create a very basic object. I want to show you something. So if I don't pass anything here, but still it will have the name and stuff, because we have provided the default constructor, remember? So I can say obj dot, and if I want to get the year, I can say get year, give some space, obj dot, and I can say get name. All right, let's try to run it. So this is basically a very simple object. I'm not passing anything to this object. So by default, it should take the test and stuff. So here you can see 1 2 3 4 and test. The name is test. Now let's try to pass some values. Now creating a new object. So what I can say is I can say car. I can name this car as BMW. This is an object, right? So I will say something like this, round brackets, and in that round brackets the order should be same. Remember, the first was string, so I will say the name as caps BMW. The year was 1995, right? And let's use the same cout statement which was here, so we can make sure that our object was created. So let's run it. So if you observe it here, we have Oops, what? Oh yeah, so it's the object. I have to say BMW. Great. I was wondering why it's showing the same thing. So yeah, copy paste. All right. So hopefully now you should see the name. So here you can see. So we have the year as 1995 and the name of the car. So if you want to change the name of the car, let's say the year I by mistakenly entered incorrect. If you want to change the name year, so what you can say is basically BMW, that is the object. You can say that the arrow operator, or you can use a dot operator, whatever you are comfortable. Set here. I'm gonna say 2019, and if I run the same print statement again, so now the year should change. So let's see. So here you can see 2019 instead of 995 we have 2019, but the name remains same. So that's a pretty an overview of classes and an object oriented approach. We will be doing a lot of examples and hopefully you'll be good at it. So that's it for this tutorial. Hope you have enjoyed, and if you have any more questions, make sure to list your question in the comments. Would be very happy to answer them if I have time. And by the way, all of these codes of all the tutorials are there on my GitHub, so make sure to check my GitHub account. That's it, and see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.